Hey guys, it's Thanksgiving and your family's come over and your mother walks up to you as you're preparing something in the kitchen and she says, "Hey son, where would you like me to put the mashed potatoes?" You're like, "Oh, put them over there in the corner and we'll set them up later." And you go on about your business. 30 seconds later, your mother walks up and says, "Hey, son, where would you like me to put the mashed potatoes?" You look at her and you say, "Well, Mom, I just told you you could put them over there in the corner, you see?" Well, if you've experienced this or started to, and this is a very common thing that happened with our mother, when we really first started to notice was early one Thanksgiving. Her and her husband had come in town from North Carolina. And, he had told us that, hey, your mom had been repeating herself quite often, and I'm a little concerned. But we didn't think much of it then because we'd never had dementia or alzheimers or anything strange in our family. So it was quite unusual, and we thought, well, maybe she's been really stressed or something unusual is going on. And so she would come in and her thing was repeating stories. In other words, we'd sit down at holiday dinner and Mom would start on telling us about this religious sermon that she had heard. And, she'd start telling us the whole story. And first time was, "Oh, wow, that's interesting." And then, 10, 15 minutes later, she'd tell the same story again. And if you've ever experienced this, it's very unusual. You're quite freaked out about Mom's telling you the same story again. You're like, and usually in the beginning, people who aren't catching what's happening, they're like, "Mom, you just told us that story already," because it's quite annoying. And it's almost as if, if someone is not having dementia or experiencing something, you're thinking, "Wow, you're really pushing this kind of hard, this story. It could be, annoying to other people." Well, you don't know what's happening at that time, and it can be a normal reaction. But the problem is your loved one, if they're starting to experience dementia, they don't even know they're doing it. To them, their brain is looping back to that, whatever that energy cycle is, whatever that poignant thing that's on their mind they find important. The emotions attached to it cause them to repeat themselves and tell you again. They don't mean to do it. So I'm saying this to you because if you're starting to experience this with a loved one and the repeating of themselves, unless they're on some kind of medications that could cause this, which complicates the whole thing. Sometimes medications can be initiating the issues that they're having with dementia. But if this is happening to you, if you're experiencing this, please note right away, they don't know they're doing it. Please don't get mad at them. Please don't correct them. Don't do any of those sorts of things because, all you're doing is causing them to experience negative emotions. Even though it can be annoying, you've got to find other ways to help them rather than lashing out at them or telling them they're repeating themselves all the time. Because, you really could be doing something quite cruel to your mother or father or your spouse or something. So it was very common, and it just kept getting worse with my mother. The problem with us was our mother, my mom's husband did not eat the best diet. In fact, he ate the opposite diet of what my mother ate, very healthy. And when they went to North Carolina, she began, I believe, starting to eat, kind of eating his diet more and more, which drinks sodas and stuff. I can't say that fully exasperated, but it sure does not help at all from our studies. And so because she lived so far away from us, and he was not at all interested in any kind of super diet, detoxification, super diet. Once she started to go in the dementia phase, forgetting things, very difficult at that point in time to get someone on a program where you can help them change their dietary plans to get healthy. I will tell you this because this is what we experienced. So we decided to take our mother to the doctor to get evaluated, right? Neurology, first regular doctor. They're about as helpful as a fart in the wind when it comes to it. And we didn't realize till later why. All they do is say, well, you need to see a neurologist or a psychologist or something like that. A psychologist is, unless somebody's actually crazy, which they're not, psychologists we found to be worthless. But what surprised us the most was going to a neurologist. 6-month wait for an appointment. To sit down with the neurologist who, ordered brain scans, MRIs, all these sorts of things, standard procedures, cha-ching, cha-ching, making that money. But, of course, they've got to look for a tumor. They've got to look for other things. And, it didn't come back a tumor or anything with our mother, but I believe, there was slight plaque buildup, a little bit, nothing major at the time. But the neurologist, I believe we saw 2 doctors. The neurologist, when we asked, what's going on, they said it appears they're starting to get, onset or dementia, slight dementia. And I said, well, what do we do? What can we slow this down? How can we stop this? Basically, and I'm going to tell you this to save you some heartache from your visits and stuff. Imagine trying to talk to a donkey at that point in time. You're sitting in front of a neurologist, which is supposed to be one of the smartest doctors there is. And you're getting responses like, basically, all they're going to tell you is there's no cure, but we can prescribe some kind of, pain medicine if they need pain medicine, or some neurological drugs or anxiety pills or things like that. The only thing they're going to tell you about from the standard procedures that we went through is there's nothing can be done. And research is out there looking for things. They may even try to explain to you what's happening, which, since it doesn't do anything to help you, who cares? What you want to know is, how do I fix it? How do I prevent it? This you will get zero answer for. No, you won't get an answer for it. Now, my suggestion is, because we could not get to our mother for a long enough period of time in the beginning stages to possibly help her out, to detoxify her body, remove heavy metals, whatever might have been able to catch things before they advance too far. If you have access to your parent and someone, a caregiver, or you, or if it's your mom and your dad still alive, if they can keep them on a program to try to cleanse their body of whatever is causing the brain to build up the plaque. Something is irritating the brain. From our research, I'm not a doctor, but from our research, the plaque that's building up in the brain, they call it cholesterol buildup or whatever, is a protection mechanism from some kind of irritant. Now, because I'm on this channel and they will kick you off, and I want to make sure we reach as many people as possible to share our findings and what we can help with you. You'll have to find these things I will explain from my research and such in the courses that we created to help people with dementia and Alzheimer's, and the stages we went through and how to protect yourself financially, how to protect your loved one from, scammers, how to possibly help with health things. And we're looking at approaching this from a health coach type of perspective, because like I say, we're not doctors and we can't tell you what to do. So all we can tell you is what we found other doctors suggested. I will tell you, if you can seek out a very knowledgeable functional medicine doctor, this could be an MD or a naturopath. But if you have to have a medical doctor for your insurance or whatever, seek out in your area a functional medicine doctor, because, and you have to ask some questions, but functional medicine doctors are like the old time doctors who look for what's causing the issue. These doctors may run heavy metal tests, hair analysis, blood testing. They could run tests to check to see whether your parents' body can metabolize certain vitamins and minerals, because some people can't. And you need to check for that. So functional medicine doctors and naturopaths, and doing your own research, I would not suggest using the standard internet procedures to search anything, because all you're going to find is the same articles or the same type of articles, and they spit these out and regurgitate them and put them on there with the purpose is to draw you in for somebody who has dementia or Alzheimer's looking for answers, and they give you the standard write-up from sounds like some miracle thing came out, and the write-ups are specifically done to draw you in to think that this could be close to coming along, every single one of them, and then by the time you get to the end, but more research is needed. It's a looping ad. It's all it's done is draw you in to get your attention. The person may not even know anything about Alzheimer's or medical stuff. It's just to get you on the pages to read all of the advertisements on the side. That's it. So, you can go on YouTube and start seeking out functional medicine advice or things for, if it's allowed to be found. I'll help you out best we can on the series we have, Alzheimer's in Love. But you seek out actual medical doctors, functional medical doctors, discussing things. The other end of the spectrum is all going to be, there is nothing to do, more research is needed, and just explanations of what's happening to the brain, but not what's causing it. If you figure out what's causing it, then Sherlock Holmes can figure out how to stop it or get it out of the body. From what we have found, they're not going to tell you that, because it seems from the top down, whoever is manufacturing the issues, whoever's creating the things that are causing the problems, whether it was non-stick metal things that we cooked our foods on, whether it's something falling from the skies, whether it was one of these when they were a child, there's something that's irritating the brain. If it's some kind of frequency that is vibrating, that once you get to a certain age and things get weaker, those vibrations traveling through your brain and they travel through your body resonate at an unhealthy frequency start causing the brain to protect its nerves and protect itself and causing this. There's a lot of factors. I will go over and discuss these in the private course, because if I discuss them on here, they'll stifle the channel and you just won't get to hear it anymore. So we're just not going to do it, because we need to reach as many people and help as many people as possible. So here's what we have. We have a course, Alzheimer's in Love. This course takes you on an advisory journey of what we experience, my sister and I and my family, with our mother's dementia, which is now full-blown Alzheimer's. From choosing caregivers, the things that your parents can do to cause some big problems for themselves and you, legal things to proceed with to protect your family, avoiding scammers, how to deal with their cell phone, their credit cards. A credit card and a cell phone in the hands of someone with dementia can be a time bomb. The parent wanting to drive, things they may do, getting lost, family members who suddenly take an interest in caring for your parent, and the next thing you know, they end up on the will, getting the house. These sorts of things that are just, you would never imagine that there are people who would go to prey on someone, especially if they have any money. There's a lot of things we have learned the hard way, because we didn't have a guide and we couldn't find anybody or anything or any kind of course, because we sure would have done it. And so what we've done is create this course to help you and to bring actual true awareness from a different perspective that could actually help to the community and to people who are suffering. The normie mainstream media information that just circled round and round the internet and such is just going to keep you in a loop of frustration and then eventually lead you to a path where you just give up and think, well, there's nothing to do. Maybe one day they'll find hope. And we have to go beyond that. So this is Dan Collier, Alzheimer's in Love, and we're going to help you out best we can. You can find a link in the description, and from there you can get the course or read more and learn about what it does. And if you make a donation, then you can get the course and you'll help us to keep spreading the word. Thank you. Sorry this has happened to you, but we're all going through it together, and we really hope we can help you. Okay, guys, see ya.